welcome to the EEvolving podcast. I'm your host, Ebony. I've created this podcast for women to have a designated space to evolve in all aspects of life, including our walk with Christ and building a healthy self-image. It's simple. I'm a woman, and this is a place where we're going to evolve together. Now let's get into the episode. Hey, y'all. Welcome back. It's been a long time. Welcome to 2024. Welcome to the new year, because where she been at? Girl, where you been at? Doing big things, don't play with it. Don't play with her. Girl, she's been evolving. Okay? Spiritually, all the things. Now, I can't lie, y'all. I don't know why. This little light of mine, we finna let it shine, because she be acting like that light ain't in there. She be acting like the sunshine on her God-given glow ain't glowing. She be acting like she don't know thine self. So God had to show me myself in this season. Okay? Like, it's so crazy when you are working on something and feeling like, dang, I'm not doing what I want to be doing, or it's not the time. Because there is like my pastor said, there is a divine time, a purpose time, and a perfect time. Wait a minute, girl. How? October. Or 23. I was there. Was I not? Girl, was I there or was I not? Yes, I was. Yes, I was there. Okay, so I found my church home back in September of 23. Is that right? Yeah. Because 25, big one. When I turned 25. Yeah. So, y'all have been up on those deets. Yes. Your girl got baptized. She was wading in the water and came up her newborn skin. The one I'm in, girl, yes, she has. I just got baptized on the 17th of March, and it was so wonderful. I might insert a clip. I don't know yet. But it was so special. My family came, my mom, my dad, my grandmother, my aunt, one of my friends, and it was just a lovely thing. And I literally cried, girl. When I tell you, I was also fasting going into my baptism. This is not the first time I fasted. I did a basically Daniel's fast for the first week, and then the second week I was just doing, I guess you could say, participating in Lent, with fish, and shrimp. But are those unclean things the one that crawl? I think bottom feeders aren't technically in the Bible referred to unclean things. Well, if I did, then I messed it up. But my whole thing was seafood, so that's what I ate, and I went into it for real. Like, it's crazy because you can't. Every time I fast or I fasted, I've gotten a different response, and low key, like, we be having to take God out of this box that we have put him in, because it never came the same way. It never came. Sometimes it's a knowing from within thine self. Sometimes it's a word that you get from a sermon. Sometimes it's a word you get from somebody else. Like, it can simply be the fact that, like, I was at work and I end up getting a gift from somebody, and a older lady, and it was for my business. And it's so crazy because you can get so discouraged, girl, on this journey, especially when you're doing it self-made. But it's not self-made because God the one who made me, so he ordered my steps, so get it correct. But like, when you're doing it on your own, meaning outside of a system, because you're never on your own, God is always with you, that you really be feeling like, dang, am I doing the right thing? Like, and he has been just dropping stuff off up on me. Like, I had got a $10 gift card to Panera. Now, girl, it's been a struggle just trying to stay, I want to say stay consistent, because I've been consistent. It just hasn't been in the timing or the way I wanted it to look. I've been working on a lot of things, child. Girl, wait a minute. Hold on. BB Bye, man. Girl, I had a whole photo shoot for the brand. Don't play with her. She did a whole photo shoot and got her makeup done, did everything. Everything. And yes, but it's so crazy how you could be doing all of those things in order. But we're so used to, we have been programmed to get external validation from others, whether that be like approval from other people, that when you're doing something that you know that feels right to you, you're so busy comparing yourself to other people that you start to feel some type of way about what you working on, girl. And not even you comparing yourself to how you perceive success to be when you were in the world. Like, girl, you be looking back on stuff like, hold on. And the crazy part about it is be like, hold on, I'm trying to compare what I'm doing right now, which I know is being God led, to what I was doing before, which was being led by my flesh, and that gave me no real return. So it's like, it just felt good. And it's showing me like being structured, being used by God, you're going to be doing things that don't feel good. Girl. Like, consecrating your flesh is something. It's very much something. But getting through it and doing it. Ain't doing it. So, besides that, what else been going on with me? What's tea? What's been going on? Girl, she got a ring. It's not an engagement ring. The girls that know. And I got this for myself and I love it. And it's like, yes, she did that. What else she do? What else she done did? Since October of 23. Just been loving on my family for real, loving on myself, and also like not limiting how I see me being productive, what that looks like, you know? Like, today's grace, you get a new mammon every day. Like, you get a new grace every day. It doesn't have to look like yesterday's grace. You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, and just giving myself permission to rest, y'all. Like, it's been a mental thing, but it's not bad. It's good. It's good. It's just like, it's like an uncomfortable feeling of not having to depend on anyone for external validation or approval, and just getting used to being okay. Like, this is what peace looks like for me. This is what this looks like for me. Like, this is just what my journey looks like. And it has been weird because you can be like living up in your head for so long that when you finally get to the place that you've been dreaming of, it feel like this can't be can't be me. Like, can't be it. Like, this what it was. This what it was. Like, oh. But yeah, that's tea. What else been going on? Website launching soon. Can't wait to show y'all. In the meantime, between time, what are we talking about today? Today's topic is, hold on, let me pull it up. Evolving in Christ, because he's the one who's simply evolving. And evolving with her relationship with Christ. Like, don't play with it. I thought this was such a perfect time to talk about this because this is exactly where I'm at currently. And I have been seeing progress throughout. And I know that I've been seeing a lot of young adults declare their self onto God and saying, claiming him as Lord and Savior, and getting baptized and just turning their life around. And it's so hard nowadays where our lives are so open, meaning we're living in this social media world, that it's easy to kind of like feel like you have FOMO. Like, it kind of feels like, okay, do I stand for something or fall for everything? Like, it's this teeter-tottering that I've also felt like growing comfort in what I knew always brought me peace, but acting outside of myself to accommodate what I feel or what I saw everyone else experiencing. When truth be told, like, we fight the the God ordained peace and the God ordained just satisfaction that we have because we see what everyone else is doing. Like being a Christian or just being set apart is so easy seeing like in the limelight. Typically you're not seeing the Christian who's standing on business for real. You're seeing the person of the world who is showing you all the glitz and glam that their life has brought them. But you also see their downfall. And it's so crazy how we will still look at them and admire them and idolize those people when you really see them falling every day. But everything that glitter ain't gold. Girl, it be cubic zirconian and gold plated. Like, it be like beauty supply. Girl. And we don't be caring for real. All we know is all eyes on them. Tupac said it, like, and that's all that matters. And that's why I have to learn, like, okay, what do I really want through this relationship that I'm building with God? Like, do I want fame? Do I want attention? Or am I really doing this pod from a pure place? And I had to literally be sat down and understand why I'm doing what I do, why I believe what I believe, why I want to give the way I want to give, why am I creating what I want to create. Like, it truly was a process of me learning myself, and I didn't want to take anybody else on with that. Like, as a former people pleaser, I literally had to be okay with saying it was a process, y'all. Like, it literally was a process of me being okay with saying, okay, you know what, I don't have to show that. Not right now. I could bring on in on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything ain't content. You know what I'm saying? Like, my life is not content. This is my life. I only get to live today. And through God's generosity of just being patient with me and allowing me to still be filled, my cup to be filled during this time, and him speaking to me and showing me how gracious he is and how he is keeping me, and how and the peace that I have even in not doing what I really want to do. I've also discovered, like, okay, all good things aren't godly things. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're doing a good thing in the wrong time, it's not godly. And that's how all of my dreams and aspirations had been for a certain point in time. Like, he like, Ebony, you still trying to get your feet together. Like, you still, you don't feel like your stomach is still empty? So no, things are not going to be clicking on all four cylinders for you right now because you're not full. How can you feed my people when you haven't even ate yet? You don't even have the energy to hold up the plate for them, let alone build a table, girl. So it's just been a process of me learning myself. And you think that you arrived when it's like, no, you're just full right now. You just fool right now, but you can't think that you eat on, like, even with our relationship with God, you can't think that you eat on Sunday and you're going to be full for the rest of the week. It's a daily thing, and that's what I have been processing. So today I want to talk about just the progress that I've seen in my own life, and hopefully this can help you guys out. So the first thing, like I just mentioned, was fasting. It doesn't have to look like what everybody else does. You can fast just from social media. You can fast from smoking or vices that you have. Well, that should be a fast. You should be laying it down, period, and bury it. Okay. But you can fast from, everybody starts somewhere. Because I've noticed two things that I've fasted from, I've also been able to leave alone. You just got to detox. And then you notice, like, hey, I don't need that. I still feel just as complete as I did before. You can fast from food. You can fast from food and water. You can do a juice fast. You can do a Daniel's fast. You can choose what your fast is. But the whole process of fasting, which I've also learned because I've had my days during that 2-week fast that I had leading up into my baptism, was that, like, okay, You can't just take out one thing and think that, okay, I'm good. You have to replace that with something. You're supposed to be replacing this to be spiritually filled. You can't just lay something down and be like, okay, well, I'm doing something. That's how people do things. It's like Phariseeism. Is that the right word? I don't know. But it's getting very much Pharisee because you just want to be seen. And it ain't fair. If you're trying to make like just you, it's not fair. Okay, I'm making this whole thing up. It's not fair that you want people to see something that you're not even doing for real. Like, people go to church and post that they went to church today. People will post like, oh, I read this scripture today or this and that, because you just want people to think that, oh, you a fair Christian. Favor ain't fair. And God knows your heart. You ain't even try to pray for real. And you talking about you fasting. You have to replace that thing that you feel like you need to, that is becoming a higher priority than God, and replacing that with God, because that's where he should have been all the time. Anything that I fasted from, I've noticed I was basically running to that first instead of God, because I'll still be like, I could scroll on TikTok and I'll be like, dang, I'm low-key feeling some type of way, but I'm using this release oxytocin release that I get from scrolling on my phone, as I'm also getting overstimulated. So it ain't helping for real, with really sitting down and asking God, like, what you trying to tell me? What's going on? Why am I feeling this way? That's the whole process of fasting. Prayer. Like I just said, praying to God about what you're feeling. And not just this like, oh, and you should do this. But it should be more deeper. We have to learn how to be deeper in our prayers. Like praying for, thank you, Lord, for waking me up this morning. Thank you for the clothes on my back. It's a good thing to pray and be grateful for the things that you probably would typically look over because it's become normal to you. But like also go deeper. And you only can grow deeper in your prayers by being intimate with God. How do you become more intimate with God? Being still. Not rushing him because you feel like you can do something else, or just checking it off the list. I've noticed like it's really easy, and I think that we all go through this, is having this check off the box type of relationship with God, with church, with reading our word. Like literally today. Y'all think I'm playing? Hold on. Today, I had to tell myself, like, dang, Ebony, when you read the Bible, you selfish. How can you be selfish? And it's crazy because we'll be like, how am I being selfish when I know, y'all know how I be fighting that sleep that comes upon you when you're reading the Bible? You think you did something, but you didn't even ask God, how are you? Okay, Lord, I thank you for allowing me to sit in your presence and that you think of me that much. Humble yourself. Okay, be where you're supposed to be. And I open up my heart to you for you to speak to me the way that you see fit and not selfishly for my gain. Because I notice, like, okay, we can read the Bible thinking that we're supposed to be like that same thing, good and not godly, that, oh, he's supposed to honor us just because. Just because I read your Bible. So, okay, you're supposed to tell me, like, who you think you is? Who you think you is? So this is a cue to learn. As I'm telling you these things, also use these as a cue to learn where you're getting farther away from God. Because anytime I've noticed when I feel like I need to fast, it's because these things start to become a higher priority. So these will be the red flags to look out for at the same time. When these things decrease, you to increase your relationship with God and your intimacy with God. So even when it comes to worship time, like, don't just sit, like, literally sit there and sit in it. You know, like, don't rush the process. How rude. How rude. But we are programmed from this microwave society. Everything, we have to get everything now. Everything is fly by night. Everything is just a quick process, and it's not. And then we tend to get mad, or you envy other people's relationship with God, because you'll be looking at, because I've done this. I'll look at somebody like, dang, how are they crying like that? And we'll be like, dang, why are you crying like that? It ain't even that deep. But it's really that deep, because they really sit and sup, and they sit and they think about all the goodness of God, and everything that he's done for them. So it is that deep. And if you will get humble, and really sit down there and take inventory about all the things that God is doing and currently doing for you, you're still breathing. Be grateful and thankful for that. Somebody else is not breathing right now. Somebody else took their last breath. Somebody else is on a ventilator right now. Life is so short. And you just so quick, like I said, we get so used to things that we just like, oh, whatever. Yeah, it's this. No, it's a blessing. Now, this is all going together like it should. Daily word. So like I said, reading your Bible every day, not just reading through it as well, like taking your time, being open, because like today I also learned, like, okay, like I said, praying before you start to read your word, preparing your heart. Then, like, it helped me to see things that I thought that I probably wouldn't have saw before. So there was a scripture. Let me go to it. I'm reading currently the King James version of the Bible. So I just finished the book of Song of Solomon. Verse 2, where it says, their love is great. As a lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. As an apple tree among trees of the wood, so is my beloved among sons. Now, if you read the King James, you can easily think that's just poetic and just cute. Like, that's how they talked back then. That's how I would have read it if I didn't stop and pray. But I'm like, wait a minute. He just said daughters and sons. So that means he tends to love his daughters and sons differently, because we're two different beings. We need different things. So then I had to take that and Google it and do my own research. And this is what I found out. That for as a lily among thorns, so is my love among daughters. God gives his best even in hopeless situations. The lily among thorns. But his love is still sufficient. So it's like I said, I'm so used to projecting. I had been so used to projecting my own interpretation, but his thoughts are not my thoughts. So I'm bottom of the barrel of thoughts right now when I typically read the Bible. I only get what I think I need. So I miss out on that. And as I am in this single season of my life, like, and also not idolizing when that time comes, but it's helping me understand, like, okay, Ebony, when you get into a relationship, don't think the way that I love you. You can understand how the man needs love. You're emotional. That could be the man's discomfort. You see what I'm saying? But the discomfort of the thorns, which is our emotionalism, if that's the word. But the lilies still grow. Beautiful things still come about it. You know? So I had to open myself up to that. So if you're struggling with reading your word, because I sometimes struggle as well, get a devotional. My church just gave out devotionals. They started last month. So I've been doing that before I wake up. That's way easier for me to do than reading a scripture in the morning, because I wake up so early. And that's the other thing too. Like, your life does not have to look like everybody else's life. Like, if a person has a schedule to where they are in a more leisure part of their life, because that's what their work has gotten them, then they can get up at 5 o'clock or whatever, because they're an entrepreneur or whatever. They just have an easy, lax schedule and read their Bible and casually get ready to go to the gym. Because that's just what their norm is. But for me, I'm going to clocking on somebody's job. So I can't I get up so early. I could, but I have to be okay with knowing that that's enough and God sees my heart at the end of the day. I was about to go on a whole tangent. No, God sees my heart. He sees that I want to. So, okay, I do my devotion to prepare my heart, do my prayer in the morning. Then when I come home, this is what I do before I go to bed and do my prayer and go to sleep. That's sufficient. Your stuff doesn't have to look like everybody else's stuff. Like, use the Bible app. If you can't stay focused enough and read the word, use the Bible app. I let the Bible play along with me as I read. Sometimes I cut it off, sometimes I turn it on, but it just helps me get through it. Sometimes I have to pause it because my mind is working a little bit slower than what it's reading at the pace that it's reading, or whatever reason. I just thought about something as it's reading along and I went back to it. Whatever fits you, what you need, that's what you do. And with that being said, one day is not enough. Sometimes, like I said, with that whole check the box off the list type of religion that we have, sometimes it's not enough. It's not enough. Stretch yourself. Make that sacrifice to do more. Like when I'm at work, and it goes right back into like knowing that what you do is enough. I'm listening to sermons on the podcast app for churches that have a podcast, or I guess listen to it through YouTube when I'm at work. So that's 5 days a week. I'm making sure I get that time in, plus going to church on Sunday. So like, but just make sure you're intentionally bringing God into your day. He is not a dictator. You have free will. And that's when I learned too more about myself. Like, okay, I want to be a person who somebody wants to be around. I want to be invited into somebody's day. And I want to feel the same way about the people that I want in my life. It's such an amazing thing how it's just a mirror to how we live. Girl. Community is so important. Now, I need to work on this myself. I need to work on it. Because I have been struggling with like feeling like I'm alone in this walk, and you don't have to feel that way. You really don't. You really don't. And when you find your community, be okay with knowing people are in different places in their life as far as their own intimate relationship with Christ. So they may look like they're more on fire than you, and that's okay. But let them light you up. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. What is that? What is that scripture about when they say, 2 is better and 3 is better because a triple knot, a cord is not easily broken. Girl, she knew to it, so don't play. But she know what's in there. She know what's in there. You have to know it and have it in your heart. And some things that you may not know, other people may know because they may have experienced something that was like or similar. That's the same thing. Similar to what you've experienced, or they just witnessed it from somebody else. So you just never know what type of healing you can get from your community and being rooted in the church home. Okay? Sometimes we get so comfortable in like the familiar that we get scared and putting ourselves out there. But every newbie in Christ is on fire and wants that church community, because it's so hard to fight off that abandonment that you feel because you know you can't hang out with people no more because you don't agree with the things that they're doing anymore that you maybe once did, or maybe you feel like, okay, you're fearful of them looking at you a certain way or whatever. But most of the time, you more than likely are just not spiritually strong enough to even hang with them for real, you know? Because like, you have to be strong enough to go and see people as they are and not talk down on them, because I've gone through this too. Not talk down on them or not to judge them within and what they're doing and how they're living their life. Energy shows. You know, you have to be built up strong enough for it. There's a wilderness season that we all go through for a reason, because You have to understand what you had to go through that got you in that season, and have a better understanding of how you overcame that, so therefore you could bring other people through. But if you weak just where they weak, child, it's gonna be more likely that you go right back under with them. So building a community with people that that are more equipped can definitely be of some benefit. And then gets people who just have a honest interest in growing and a strong dedication in growing. Those are the people that you want to be around. And they don't have to be, you may not meet those people like where you work. It may be online, use your discernment. But low key, if you just go to a church home, you're gonna find it. And that's one thing I gotta start doing. I gotta start prioritizing that more. Because I'm working out on my schedule of business and all the things that I have been working on. Because it's a process. It's a process. Don't overwhelm yourself. Let God guide you. Stop trying to take so much control over how things are supposed to be and flow. Limiting distractions. Child, social media will have you down a rabbit hole, and you have to filter it. Girl, go on TikTok and go in your settings, and you can go to, I have to post it later. I'll put it in the description if y'all want it. I don't feel like looking for it right now. But you can go in your podcast. What is you saying? You can go into your TikTok or whatever social media platform and put in filtering words to stop things coming on your page. Use the not interest button. Clear out your search history. Like, start unfollowing people. Remove people from your followers. Like, if you know people are, because it will show you who liked what, so therefore you know who is where they are. I said that, who is where they are, and you may have to remove them. This is your life. Don't allow other people to have the control over your life because you fear, oh, what would they say? What would they think? 10 times out of 10, if you have followers on your, okay, this is how social media works. You may have been in high school, you met these people 10 jobs ago, and y'all just are not in the same place. And 10 times out of 10, you're not even talking to people for real. So, and how social media working nowadays is just monitoring spirits. So remove them. What is they really doing? And at the end of the day, they're bringing down your engagement anyway. So if you're trying to get the bag on social media, remove them people. They're not supporting you. They're not supporting you. It be strangers that support you the most anyway, for real. So, like, you're not missing out on nothing. Get them people off of your page. You don't be liking their stuff anyway, to be honest. And clear that stuff out, girl. Make space for new so God can bring in the algorithm that you want. Because, girl, listen, I had been scrolling on TikTok the other day as I did my little filter or whatever. Girl, why all these Christian concerts coming up? And see, we be thinking like, oh, girl, we be having stuff cluttered. Hold on. We be having stuff cluttered. You be thinking like, oh, there's no designated spots for Christians to have fun. Where's the place where I can go to unwind? Because we still need recreational fun. We still need rest. We still need leisure. And you don't have to always be in the church for that. First of all, our biggest work is outside the church anyway. So if you're trying to impress people in the church, you're doing the wrong thing. You're trying to have an idol. You're trying to become an idol. So go outside the church and find places. Because like I said, I've been seeing concerts on concert on concert on concert on concert popping up on my TikTok. Okay? The things are out there. You just have to make space for God to bring them in and usher them to you. Ooh, wee, edges, get them laid. Don't rip them out. You have to create the space for God to bring the things in. You have too much stuff in the way. He said, I'm trying to push them in there to you. but you got people leaning up against the door. You got people leaning up against the door and they can't come in. They can't come in. Listen. Okay? So then a season will go by. The summertime is coming. A season will go by, and you're like, dang, I didn't get to have all the fun that I want to have. Now you're feeling some type of way about your own relational spiritual development because you feel like you can't have no fun. Now you're comparing yourself to the worldly people because, oh, don't let the devil have a stronghold if he don't need one. That's how you create strongholds because you feel like, oh, dang, I'm weak here or I'm feeling some type of way. Now you're getting over emotional about it. And then you start getting weak about things. And then here comes a counterfeit. Girl, create space for God to usher in the things that you are owed. Cause you working hard for it. You have a hunger for wanting more and you have a hunger to do better. Let God fill your stomach up. Let him feed your spirit man. Okay? Journaling, okay? We be fine, man. We be fine. Listen, journaling has been such an amazing thing to the fact that I've created a journal for y'all. Okay? Through my relationship with Christ and learning, I had to learn I can't do everything myself. I had to learn, like, okay, Ebony, you need a person who can help aid you, aka therapy. Um, I think therapy and Jesus is a wonderful combination to go together. You can look up and find Christian therapists who have the same belief systems as you. I believe that's the best way to go about it. So through therapy, I've learned how expensive it is from my own experience, and not everyone has healthcare. I'm very aware that we are going through a tough financial time for most people. So I want to create something that people can get into who maybe don't have insurance or just don't have the bandwidth to worry about um co-pays and things of that nature because it just happens. It's a business at the end of the day. It's a leisure. Hopefully one day we can make it more affordable. I'm not sure about BetterHelp quite yet because I never had to do that. I went through my insurance, but I'm pretty sure there's still a fee to it. Things aren't free. So I've created two things as you guys can see here. Here we have a guided journal and we have a notebook, which is a way to go deeper into your journaling. These are available on Amazon. They're available on Amazon. I love them. As you guys can see, these match the logo for the pod. This one here, like I said, this is the guided journal, Simply Self-Love by yours truly. On the back, it says Simply Journaling My Way into Healing. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'll drop it down in the description into my link tree. It has some prompts in here. And I just love it. I just want to make something that was really quick and simple. Some people may be new to journaling. You don't know where to start. So we have daily self-love and we have a 3-minute daily reflection. And we have some guides in here of how to do that. And we also have, this is going to be a 30-day journal. We also have a weekly review in here. So at the end of each week, you get to assess how your week is. I've learned through my own process of therapy, like it's very easy to get complacent in therapy depending on your personality. Okay, because sometimes you can start talking to your therapist like, for me, like they just your friend for real. You know what I'm saying? To the point to where you're not really getting deep. I had to learn, like, okay, I'm just checking this off the list. I feel validated, but what really am I trying to do here? So that's why I got a weekly check-in at the end of each week so you can assess how your week is. So for example, I have this week I accomplished, some priorities for the next week, reminding yourself, affirming yourself, things that you're grateful for. How do you feel emotionally? Some things that you need to improve on, and a highlight moment. So we want to have basically like pros and cons to have a more realistic example of how you're feeling week to week. Sometimes it's hard to really assess those things. And if you don't know how to journal, how to go deep in those things because you haven't explored those things in therapy, this is why I created that. So this is available on Amazon. And then because it's like a quick release journal, the 3-minute daily reflection, I want to have a place for you guys to go a little bit deeper, which is why I created this notebook. Simply noted, this is a hardcover, evolving my ideas into reality. Hashtag I'm simply evolving on the back. I think it's just very important to, whatever you got on here, whatever you release, to go deeper in here. You can have it more detailed. So let's say you want to start a business, or this week you're feeling kind of frustrated because you don't know what your purpose is. And okay, well, I have a dream of doing, let's say you want to do nails or something like that. So how do you envision that to be? There's just a bigger place, a bigger space to go deeper into those things and those thoughts. So that's what's in there. And journaling is just a simpler way to talk to God too. You can write letters to him. And sometimes we don't really notice what's going on. Sometimes we be thinking we need to telephone a friend when we really need to just like talk to ourselves and just hear what you're saying. So many times I have gotten my own healing by just really understanding, like, dang, Ebony, what did you just say? Oh, wow. You need to pray. Oh, wow. You need to rest. Oh, wow. You need to go to the gym. Oh, wow. You probably should stop eating those unhealthy foods. Like, a lot of times you get what you need. You just are so busy in escapism that you don't take accountability for what you're doing. You don't really assess what you're doing. We can get so caught up in like our everyday normal habits that you just lose sight of, oh, I'm creating these seasons myself. I thought myself into a season. I ate myself into a season. And those are just the symptoms of other things. Okay, let's go a little deeper. Okay, so journaling, we did decreasing secular music. I know, y'all. I talked about this on my TikTok the other day. I'm like, dang, my heart breaks sometimes deleting these songs. That just shows you how strong of how much of a stronghold it has been on my life for me to be like, dang, I really vibe with this song. But when I sit there, girl, listen, those with ears, let them hear. When I literally sit and listen to the songs that are being played sometimes that I had in my phone, I'd be like, oh no, I do not come into agreement with that. I'd be like, delete, Control Alt Delete, take it all off of there, because no. And it's crazy because I'm like, dang, at a point in time, I was singing these things over my life and I didn't really even understand what I was singing. It just felt good. The vibe was good. The visuals was good. Like, girl, you want to pour more affirmational things into your life more so than secular things, okay? Because that's just a way to invite temptation into your life. And you're like, dang, why do I feel that way? Why do I want to get crunk? Why do I want to go do this? Why do I want to invite this person over? Why do I want to do? It's just a way to limit the access, okay? That the old things, okay, have had on your life. Transparency, especially when you're praying with your friends, with your family. Transparency for me kind of goes into purpose and boundaries. Cause just saying, heck, hey, this is where I am in my life right now. I don't have the capacity. Girl, my favorite word and phrase to say right now is capacity and bandwidth. I don't have the bandwidth or capacity to deal with that right now. Like, I've been noticing, like, okay, Ebony, sometimes you will stress yourself out or you get anxiety because you don't know how to say no. You don't know that you're idolizing this job because you know this is a place where you can for sure get a check, but banking on yourself and doing what truly fulfills you, you don't know how fast it's going to come. But it's going to come. If you believe in yourself and you are being consistent, be honest with yourself. Like, be transparent. Like, okay, me working this job may be not getting me what I need. Truthfully, it's working against the grain. It's taking away the mental capacity that I have when I come home. I can't think because I'm so tired. I'm physically tired from this job that I have, or I'm mentally tired from the job that I have. That when I come home, I want to relax, and then I feel guilty for resting. There was something I'm about to get into next for resting, but like you need rest. Your Sabbath does not have to be on Saturday. When your body says rest, rest. When God needs to go and fill himself up, he rested. He went up to the mountain and he rested. We get so caught up in this hustle culture, this sleep when I die culture. That is so toxic. I do not adapt. Absolutely not. No. No. Like, your body's a temple, treat it as such. The same way you need to eat is the same way you need to sleep. Girl, you trying to lose the weight, you may be not losing the weight because you're not sleeping enough. Hello? Okay. That's that. But your transparency will help you reveal your boundaries and your purpose. Those all work hand in hand. Transparency helps you be honest with saying, okay, like I said, I have the bandwidth or don't have that for that. Why don't I have that? Because, like I said, this job or hanging out with you is not going to bring forth the results that I need because it's taking away the time that I have. Now, when I hang out with you, you know, when I go home, I don't want to do what I need to do. Or I'm spending money that I don't need to be spending, you know? Or it's just keeping me distracted from what I need to be doing. And then in the end, because you're not doing what you truly need to be doing because it's not fulfilling you, you feeling worse anyway. So you might as well just, okay, go ahead, bite it on the head and say, you know what? I'd rather face this uncomfortable feeling up front than on the back end and still not yield the results that I need. You know? Healthy routines, eating, physical, and intimacy. Okay? That means emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, spiritual intimacy. Making sure that we are fulfilling our body in the right ways. Okay? Everything works hand in hand. If you are overworking, your body's going to break down and affect your mental health. Period. If you're not working out, you're going to feel lazy. It's going to affect your mental health. If you're eating bad, it's going to affect your mental health because you're going to be gaining weight or you're going to be feeling bloated or affects your mood. Just making sure that we try to be my goal right now is to be as realistic and consistent as possible. Okay? Moderation is key. Point blank and period. Don't compare. Don't compare yourself to other people. If you have to get off Instagram, get off Instagram. Like, I had to tell myself, okay, get you a digital planner and put on there, like, what time is going to be social time for you every day. Put an alarm on your phone. You get from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. to scroll on Instagram you get that designated time to scroll on Instagram. Half of it, 30 minutes for social time. Have the other 30 minutes for business to get your ideas or figure out networking events, stuff like that. That's what you have to limit yourself to. Then that's what you have to do, including with watching TV, Netflix, all those other things. That goes into stewardship. Because I've noticed, like I said, when I'm on social media as a consumer instead of a creator, it creates comparison for me. Because your cup can be full, but because you're not acting it out, you're looking at people who are doing it. And then that makes you double think everything that you have. Or you could have an idea and then you come across somebody who has an opposing idea, but because they posted theirs and you're sitting on yours, you're like, oh, I can't put mine out now. I've gone through that. And that's probably why I haven't posted since October, amongst other things. Girl. Or like, it could be something to where you're working on that you have not posted yet, or created yet, and another person has, and now you feel like, oh, they did it already, I can't do mine. No, like, if God gave that to you, do yours. Yours is going to reach a certain crowd of people, and theirs is going to reach a different crowd of people. Everybody can work. Period. There's a place for everybody. We all have different spiritual frequencies to ourselves, to where, depending on your development stage and your desire or your need, you may not fit everybody, and that's okay. I'm not here to fit everybody. Whoever can relate to me relates to me, and that's who I want to be here for. Stewardship of your time, resources, and emotions. Just like I said, everything works within itself. If you're being a bad steward on your finances, that messes with your emotional health, because maybe you have to put more time in another place that you don't want to put it, and then that makes you have to sacrifice on time that you could spend on your personal brand. That's me. So just being able to be realistic and just know that self-awareness is not enough. You could be self-aware of all your issues through all this thing when it comes to fasting, prayer, reading your word daily, going to church, being rooted in a community, limiting distractions, journaling, decreasing secular music, transparency, purpose and boundaries, rest. All these things, like, it can be so discouraging. Like, girl, she lost what she was finna say. It's because it's 10:30 at night. Girl, what was she saying? Can I run it back? I said stewardship, time, resources, and emotions. What she say that for? Girl, she knew to this. She true to this too. She knew this. She true to this, but she knew right now. Cause like, where you been at, twin? Where have you been? All these things work within itself, and anywhere that you're lacking, you just have to invite God back in. That's how I'm going to end it. You have to invite God back into these areas. Like, you need guidance. I need guidance. I need guidance on how to pray. I need guidance on what to pray about. Because like, you ever been thinking about somebody? Maybe that was God opening you up to pray about somebody other than yourself. Maybe seeing that church event or that Christian event was a way for God to open you up to building a community. You just never know what can come out of certain situations. So yeah, I'm so excited to finally getting back in my groove, y'all. I hope this wasn't too all over the place, but I'm going to post it anyway because I have to get back into the system. I'm not going to sit here and be trying to like be perfect. As I continue to push the content out and structure myself to make sure that I come in my studio, I will get better in time. And I'm perfect with that. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, this is a process. And it's like I said, this is a place for us to evolve, girl. Like, this is me being truthful and transparent. Okay? So, if you guys are interested, these will be linked down in the description box. My notebook and the journal. Well, this is the notebook and this is the journal. I'm pretty sure that these are on sale for $13. This is on sale for $20. Shipping on the journal is way faster than the hardcover. I'm not sure. I'm new to Amazon. So what you should do is order your notebook first and then order the journal once you see it shipped, because it will be there faster. I do have some more things that are coming towards you guys. Just give me some more time. Be patient with me. I'm being patient with myself as I'm continuing to be consistent at the same time. I cannot wait to share those things with you in due season. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I cannot wait to see you on the next. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, or follow on your favorite podcasting platform, including our social media accounts, so we can create more of a community with each other. The description, check the description box for the link for the notebook, and the journal, and some other things that I have there that you guys can check out for the community group. What else is in there? If you want to be a guest on the podcast, there is also a guest form there. What else is in there? I can't think. There's some things in there in my link tree, so I'll put that in the description. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, I'm a woman who is simply evolving. If anyone asks you how's your healing journey going, let them know where you have your community at. See you in the next episode. Bye. We gonna get this. We gonna get it. Let me check to see how I look first of all. Sure I look good. Do I look good, Mr. Armstrong? Okay, we good.